even wedding dress. No, no.
Yes!
Wedding dress.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to SeoulSweet. Today I'm going to be talking about my second Stray Kids Fansign experience. Oh my god. I have my laptop here with like my notes and stuff. Before I get started, I just wanted to like answer some questions because on my last video, a lot of people were asking like how I got into the Fansign. So I'll talk about that first and then my experience and then the videos. On Stray Kids, they tweeted about the Fansign, right? And it led to a link in JYP Fans and you have to have an account to access that. And it's free for everyone. I don't know about other groups. I only know about JYP artists because I love JYP artists. It's a listing of the dates and the times, like when and where you can buy the albums. You go to the store during that specific time range and you just go up to the cashier and tell them which group you want and how many albums you want to buy. So I was watching Ariana's video from Its Soulmates, and according to her, I'm giving her all the credit because she said for smaller groups you can usually get in with like 10 to 25, but for bigger groups it's like way more, and that's like more money. That's so expensive. But even like 10 is a lot. But girl, on the first Fansign I bought 20 because like I wanted to overshoot myself to make sure I get in, to make sure that like all that money is worth it. And girl, I spent so much money. And I also did 20 for the second Fansign because I didn't really know. During the first Fansign, I made a friend who happened to be a Jisung Fansign master nim. And I asked her how many albums she bought. For the first one, she bought 25. The rest, she's kind of been buying like 21, 23, like around the 20s area. There were some foreigners at the second Fansign, but I totally forgot to ask them how much they bought. So it's really hard to say unless you ask people. And after you buy the albums, there'll be a time when they will release the info on their website. So when you go to their website, you click here and there'll be a list of names. It's separated into like Korean names and foreigners. And once you see that you are in, bless the Lord because you spent all of that money and it's putting it to good use. On both of the Fansigns, like total, I spent like around $600. That's including tax, and that is a lot of money. And I just need to sell my albums now and photo cards and maybe posters. But I still have to figure out a way to do the whole shipping thing because the nearest post office is like a 15-minute walk from my house. It's closed on the weekends, so I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Wait, you're at the Fansign venue, right? You're usually there like at least an hour before it starts. When you have like your albums and you're doing like your check-in, when you check in you have to show your photo ID and the receipt. And also during check-in you're allowed to bring like stuffed animals and stuff and handwritten letters, but according to JYP rules they will only accept handwritten letters. They can't accept other gifts. So during check-in there's like badges that you have, like you pick it at random and that will be your seat number. Sometimes if you get like a closer view, fan sites who are in the back, they'll probably ask to switch with you. It's really up to you. First time I switched with the Jisung fan site and I was in the back, which I didn't really care. I still had a good view because the venue was really big and the lighting was good. For the second fan site, I was originally number 25 and then I told the Jisung fan site like, oh, if you wanted this we could switch, but I hope you get a close number because I want to be in the front too. So luckily she got number 16 and we just switched. Like I was over here in front of Jisung originally and then she was over here, which was like in front of Chan, which was like yes. So for the actual albums for Stray Kids, you have to have like sticky notes on all of the members page and you have to have like their names or at least initials on them. I'm using my cousin Linnell's as an example. Chan personally wrote her name though because I asked him if it was right in Korean. Okay, anyways, since I'm using my cousins, I'm going to go to Jongin, her husband. Okay, so on the sticky note, you're only allowed to have like your name written in English and Korean only, like no other language. And then they will write it for you. But I asked him to give her a nickname and he wrote this. And oh my god, I was so happy that she's so happy. You can only have like one sticky note per member per page. Yeah, there'll be someone who checks your albums. They'll tell you what to do if you don't really know. Just check your album and see if there's anything. Then you go up and hope that you say all the right things and not get flustered, because I always get flustered. Okay, so first up was Hyunjin. I was looking at him like, oh my god, he's so cute. So once again, his body was like up and he's just like looking at you. And I think I was like looking like right into his eyes, and I was like, oh my god, his eyes are so pretty. He's so beautiful. He's such a beautiful human. I told him I was at their first fan sign, and he was like, oh, thank you, and that this was for my cousin. I asked him if he could understand English, and he was like, 조금요. And then he said a little bit in English, and I was like, ah, okay. I asked him in English how long he's been dancing for. He answered me in English. He said for 2 years, and I was like, oh, cool. But low-key in my head, I was like, dude, you're really good though. But I don't know why I said it, didn't say it out loud. Then I asked him what his favorite style of dance was. This was Lazel's question, by the way. His favorite dance style was urban. And then I asked him who his inspirations were. I'm not sure if he understood inspirations, because when I said inspiration in English, he kind of looked confused. So I said 좋아하는 가수, or like favorite artist or whatever. And then he said BTS, 방탄소년단. And I was like, whoa, BTS, really? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, whoa, that's so cool. And I asked how tall he was in both English and Korean. And he just smiled and he's like, it's on Naver. And I was like, oh my god, I felt so cringy. I did like the whining aegyo to him. I was like, oh, well. And he just like laughed and smiled, and I was like, you're so cute, but I hate you for not telling me your height. Okay, so next was Chan. Girlies, my cousins dared me to use a freaking pickup line on him. So I was like, hi Chan, are you Australian? And before I could like finish my freaking pickup line, he comes in and is like, hi, yes I am. And he's like trying to like sign my page. And I was like, because you fit all of my qualifications. And he looks up with me and he's like stops writing, and he like scoots back in his seat. He's like, yeah, I gotta go. And I turned around and I was like, yeah, sorry. And then I told him, I don't know, I think he laughed, I'm not sure. But I told him, sorry, my cousins dared me to say it. I told him I was at the first fan sign. I think he remembered, I don't remember. I asked him how tall he was, and he was like, oh, you know, it's on my profile. And I'm like, dude, no, I was like, can you just tell me? He's like, it's on my profile if you search it on Naver. And then I told him, all the songs you make are bops, they're really great. And they actually said bops out loud, oh my god. But I forgot to tell him how awesome of a leader he is. Next was Jongin, and I was like just smiling when I went up to him. Not that I was not smiling when I went to everyone, but like Jongin especially, because he's just so freaking cute. I told him I was at the first fan sign and that this was for my cousin Linnell. I said it in Korean, how she really loves him. And he was like, oh really? Like with that cute puppy face. And I was like, yeah, yes! But no, I didn't do that. I asked him to give her a nickname, and he wrote 사랑하는 Linnell. But before that, he asked if she was like a Nuna, and I was like, no, she's 동생, she's younger. I don't remember if I asked him about his height, but he probably would have given me that, oh, it's on Naver answer anyway. Next was Woojin. I was like, oh, hi Woojin. And he's like, 안녕하세요. And like so cutely. And he asked where I was from in Korean, but like I guess I didn't hear him. So I was like, huh? And then he asked, where are you from, like in English? And I was like, oh, I'm from California. I was here in the first fan sign. Blah, 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 blah. This is for my cousin. I feel like I asked him a question, but I don't remember. But I remember I gave him Bulbasaur. He asked me how to say it in English, so I was like, Bulbasaur. And then he taught me how to say it in Korean, and that went on for like 30 seconds. And he's like, in Korean, he was like, it's hard to pronounce, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. And it was just so cute. Then I asked him about that, how tall he was, and he was like, it's on Naver. And I'm just like, next was Minho. Oh, all of Linnell's 3-4 was together too. Okay, I told him my cousin really likes him in Korean, and then I asked him if he can understand English, and he's like, yeah, a little in English. So I asked him how long he's been dancing for, and he said he's been dancing since middle school. And I asked him who his favorite artists were, and he was like, 2 PM 선배님. And I was like, oh, cute! I was like, oh, really? I was like, anyone else? He thought about it for a while. He's like, Wonder Girls. And then next was Sungmin. Oh my god, he's so cute! He remembered me. I was like, hi Sungmin. And he was like, hi, in English. And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, do you remember me? And he was like, yeah. I don't know why I said it. And I was like, yeah, you ripped my album last time. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. I told him the letter was from my cousin who like really loves him. And he was like, oh, tell her thank you so much. He said it both in Korean and English. And I was just like smiling so hard. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll tell her. He said he's lived in LA for 4 months in the 4th grade. I never asked like how his English is so good because it's like so freaking fluent. I asked how tall he was, and of course he just smiles and tells me it's on Naver. It's either they said on Naver or on their profile, but it's like the same thing. I think when I was leaving to go to Changbin, he was waving, he's like, see you next time. And I was like, oh my god, that just makes me want to go again. But money, man. And his eyes smile. So cute. Okay, next was Changbin. I totally meant to be like, Changbin, yo, but I just blanked. I told him this was for my cousin, and I was at the first fan sign. And the moment I said I was from the first fan sign, he looked up and he's like, oh, I remember you. And I was like, you do? Ah! And I was like, do you remember my name? And I was like, why am I asking that? Oh, because he looked at the sticky note and he was like, Linnell? And I was like, no, that's my cousin. I was like doing sha sha sha, the sha 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 move, and he didn't get it, and I was like, oh, my name's Sasha. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. And then he smiled and I was like, oh. After he was done signing, I was like, oh shoot, what do I have to ask him? Oh my god. And I was like, I told you I love 3racha. I told you I love your rapping. And I was like, I like your voice, and I like your singing voice too. And he's like, oh, thank you. And then he said in Korean I should practice singing more, and then in English he was like, practice. And I was like, yeah, but you're really good. He had such a shy smile. It was so cute. And then of course, you know, I asked how tall he is, and once again he smiles at me and says in English, no comment. Like, sir, how many times are you gonna no comment me? God, like I swear if I go to another fan sign and he gives me that no comment thing, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh my god, Felix. Okay, this is also Cheska's 3-4 in a row, Sungmin, Changmin, and Felix. Felix, I said hi to him and that I was at the first fan sign. So this album was for my cousin, and he was like, oh, nice. I told him, yeah, she really wants you guys to come to LA and do a concert. And he was like, yeah, you know, I would love to, but right now we're so busy. And I'm like, yeah, damn, Kings, pre-debut Kings. But I did say that. Also, he was wearing his specs, so he looked so good. He also asked if she was a really big fan. And I was like, yeah, of course. She watches like all of your videos and shows and V-Lives and whatnot. And then he drew more hearts and I got excited for her. And I asked him how tall he was and he was like, right now? And I was like, yeah. and bless him, bless Felix, because he said he was 171 centimeters. And I was like, okay, thank you. Last member was Jisung. Oh my god, my son. I told him I came to the first fan sign and that this was for my cousin. So he was like signing it. I think he said he didn't remember. After he was done signing, he did this. And then I just held his hands. And oh my god, I held his hands for like until I was done talking to him. Like I was gonna die. How am I still alive? I don't know. Okay, this whole time we're talking, we're holding hands, okay? I'm so stupid. I had so many questions to ask Jisung, but I didn't. He put his head down and he was trying to remember like, oh, can you like ask me what you asked me last time? And I was like, didn't you study English in Malaysia? But I said it in Korean because that's what I asked him last week at the fan sign. And he was like, I think I remember, but I don't know. And I was like, oh, it's okay, you have a lot of fans. Oh, I asked how long he's lived in Malaysia, and he's lived in Malaysia for 6 years. He said it both in Korean and English. He said his English is not that good. I think he said it in Korean and English, but I'm like, you're already good. Like, you just be more confident with speaking English. And with like something about enough practice. I think I asked him how tall he was, and at this point I think the staff told me to leave because I was taking too long. And then we like stopped holding hands and I was like dead. When I was like leaving, he thought about it and he was like 2 meters. Yeah, 2 meters. And I was like, okay, thanks. And then I left and it was just I just held hands with him for the longest time and I didn't expect to do that. And I totally forgot to say I love 3RACHA. I didn't even mention to them how much I love their new song and I was just like, wow, I'm dumb. Okay, wait, warning. Some of the videos I'm like talking are making noises, but yeah, okay, bye. Felix! 우진! 짠! 상찬 오빠!
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 인사를 한번. 예. 스트레이키즈 네 명입니다. 예. 예. 저희 나머지 멤버들이 이제 저희 같이 출발했거든요. 출발했는데 지금 좀 많이 밀려가지고 조금 늦을 것 같은데 다들 괜찮죠? 네. 진짜요? 감사합니다. 진짜. 그래서 저희가 좀 생각해봤는데 다른 멤버들이 올 때까지 한번 팬분들이랑 같이 놀면 어떨까? 좋습니다. 예. 네, 뭐 하고 놀까요? 뭐 하고 놀까요? 아이고. 네? 노래 해달래. 진짜 고마워. 아유. 저한테 한 거 아니고 우진이 형한테 한 거죠? 우진이 형. 메인 보컬 우진이 형이 데이식스 형들 노래 잘 부르잖아요.
진짜 뻔하지 않습니까? 그죠? 저 연습생하면 다 하는 안무거든요. 찬이가 다 배워서 찬이가 자주.
근데 요새 따라 그 기본 안무가 조금씩 바뀌었어.
맞아. 이제 막 2번째부터 바뀌어요.
그걸 통과한 지가 좀 오래돼서. 역시 장기 연습생. 네, 맞아요. 네, 그래서 많이 바뀌었더라고요. 요새는 어떻게 되는지 모르겠는데. 그래서 요즘 찬이 형이 춤을. 네. 정말 연습해야 돼요, 정말. 다들 밥 먹고 왔어요?
아니요.
왜 못 드셨어요?
떨려서.
4시잖아요. 4시니까 안 먹어.
점심 드셨어요?
못 먹었어요.
점심도 안 드셨어요? 왜요?
점심 먹어야 돼요. 안 돼. 왜 없어요? 왜 없어요? 혹시 마로? 저희 보고 싶다. 애들 빨리 와야 되는데. 올 것 같아요? 맞다. 아니, 왔다. 왔다.
잠시만 기다려주세요. 건너.
와 완전체. 잠시만 나 자리 어디 있을까? 와 왔다. 지금 보니까 6분 늦었어. 다 왔으니
안녕하세요.
저희 다 같이 인사대로 크게 드릴게요. 자 하나 둘 셋.
안녕하세요, 스트레이키즈입니다.
와 우리 9명.
자, 운명의 때가 제일
멋있네요. 역시 듬직하다 듬직해. 와. 혹시 어제 이어서 이제 바로 또 저희가 이공개 팬사인회를 또 이어서 하는데 정인아 팬분들 밥을 안 먹었대. 어떻게 생각해? 너무해. 저희 팬싸 바로 시작하겠습니다. 예!
감사합니다.
예예예.
지성아.
저희도 그런 건데.
지성아 언제부터 예뻤어? 언제부터 예뻤어? 수민아, 어제 저녁에 라면 먹었어? 왜 못 먹었어?
그 대신 더 맛있는 거 먹었어요.
뭐 먹었어?
소고기 먹었어요. 소고기.
무슨 맛있는 거 먹었어?
네, 현진이가 구워줬어요.
지성아.
然后我第一个反应，我觉得那个障碍太大。米诺呀！我的天哪，那个他包的是鞋，谁这么铁？太骗我了！我好郁闷的是，至少那个位置，看我。여기도 학교고. 장빈!你说声音真是最难叫的，就是你就算叫了他，他找不到你这个方向。찬! 我今天这个角度就是白沙 Felix 的脸弹簧拳，就是打拳的那个叫什么？然后就是在那里玩，然后这个饭打，然后完了之后 着对着自己的脸打，打疼了。
찬!
啊，我不想接成。
이어서
서민아, 사랑해.
장빈!
앞으로 나갈까?
서민아, 서민아.
너무 귀여운데?
예.
네, 강희선 이거 다 치워야 해요. 너무 어지른 거 아니야 이거? 와 오늘 화려하다.
잊을 수 없는 날들.
얘들아?
그저 안부 인사라도. 자, 승민이가 오늘도 노래를 불러주고 싶다고 하는데요. 한번 승민이의 꿀 보이스를 한번 들어볼까요?
네.
네, 승민이 꿀 보이스.
꿀 보이스. 오늘 어떤 거 불러줄 거예요?
오늘은 우진이 형이 하는 게 어때요? 오. 네, 어제 했으니까.
우리 노래를 너무 많이 했어, 보컬을.
네, 사실
그러면
노래는-
랩라인이 노래를 하자. 랩라인이 노래를 하자.
랩라인. 나도
다음에 줄게. 공개해.
나도 깜빡했거든. 그래서 창민이가 노래를 하고 싶대.
예!
저번에 했나? 아닌가? 저번에 안 했지? 뭐든 안 했던 것 같은데. 창민 씨. 아니 오늘 노래한다면서요? 아 네. 무슨 무슨 노래 해드릴까요?
상민이가 좋아하는 노래.
프라이머리 러브.
오케이.
오, 좋아.
네가 입은 웨딩 드레스 네가 입은 웨딩 드레스 내가 아니잖아 웨딩 드레스 네가 입은 웨딩 드레스 No no 네가 입은 웨딩 드레스
잘하네.
자 창민이가 다음 고르는 걸로
다음 몰라.
다음 사람 고르는 걸로 지성이가 프리스타일을 못하게
예!
예!
자,
진짜 프리스타일 해주세요. 아 노래요?
네. 프리스타일.
노래? 노래요? 네 맞죠? 프리스타일 랩
프리스타일
랩.
해주세요.
래퍼 랩 비트박스 자 비트박스
좋아.
오 비트박스 내가 또 한번 나 자신 없네? 나 자신 없어 안개 잘 어울리는데? 실망하지 마세요 여러분 다시 할게요
Damn.
가자.
자, 지금 갑시다. 지성이가 랩을 한다, 홈. 지성이가 랩을 한다, 홈. 뭐야, 그쪽 왜 이래? 여러분들, 감사합니다. 정말 제가 사랑하는 거 알고 계시죠? 매일매일 여러분 생각에 잠 못 드는 내 맘 어떡해?
잘한다.
와, 창빈이도 필살 해야 된다, 손.
오.
오.
예스.
좋아요.
찬이가 프리스타일 해야 된다. 손.
오.
밤이 오늘 밤이
하나씩 볼까?
다시 한 박자 쉬고 두 박자 쉬고 세 박자 마저 쉬고 하나 둘 셋 넷 오늘 밤 유난히 참기 다 같이 나게 다가와 참기 이거 없지 않았어? 잠시만 그러면 그러지 말고 우리 진짜 우리 앨범에 있는 곡을 한번 한 코러스 부분 딱 한 번은 한번 제대로 부르는 거 어떨 것 같아? 좋아 좋죠 어떤 노래?
어린 날개.
어린 날개요? 어린 날개 소울?
그리고 내고 두 번째 글로우. 오케이. 그럼 세 번째 가사이고. 어린 날개랑 가사이고 많은데 함성 소리 좀 해볼게요.
어허.
첫 번째 어린 날개 함성 소리 한번 볼게요. 하나 둘 셋.
와우
그리고 두 번째 뭐였지? 가사이고? 가사이고 하나 둘 셋. 내 나이부터 할까?
한 박자 쉬고
두 박자 쉬고 세 박자 마저 쉬고 하나 둘 셋 넷.
내 나이대로 살래 naturally 어린 날개로 나를 spread my wings 어른인 척할 때가 좋은 듯해 안 변할래 철부지 같다는 말 듣는 대로
뭐는 서툴지만 처음이란 단어가 좋아 어리숙하지만 이대로만
아직 어린 날
지금은 어려워
어른이 되는 날
올까봐 두려워
어른이 되는 날
감사합니다. 어린아이 노래 진짜 좋죠.
다들 그 어린아이의 뮤직비디오 봤죠?
네.
어떠셨어요?
좋아요.
뮤직비디오 퍼포먼스 영상 퍼포먼스 영상 어떤 부분이 제일 좋았어요?
다 좋아요.
티저가 좋아요.
찢어 좋아요?
연구하는 거.
티저에 막 아까 우리 개인적으로 너무 하는 거 나왔어.
맞아
너무 했었지?
개인적으로 좋고
현진 면도하고 맞아. 되게 멋있어.
사실 저는 이제 학교 이제 준비하는 건데 그 장면이 그냥 걸어 나오는 장면으로만 나왔더라고요. 아 맞아요. 식당으로 네다 안 나왔어요.
플릭스는 뭐 맛있게 먹고 있던데 나도 촬영하는데 계속 먹어 내가 먹고 있어
너무해.
너무 배고파서 신발끈 묶었다 저는 뭐 하고 있었어요?
미안해.
저는 뭐 하고 있었어요?
미안해.
저 뭐 하고 있었어요? 나 까먹고 있어. 뭐지? 맞다, 나 이러고 있었다. 서정전. 옥상에서. 혼자. 아, 이제 그 옥상 컷인가? 우리 그 다 같이 모였을 때. 마지막쯤? 저도 진짜, 그때 진짜 재밌었어요. 맞아. 짱이었네. 되게 얼음도 있고 미끄러웠는데 되게 재밌었어. 얼음도 있고 미끄러웠는데 되게 재밌었어요. 그치. 나는 가사 쓰고 있었어. 쓰고 있었어. 여기서 가사 쓰는 뭐 가사 써도 되고 뭐 주제도 좀 정리해도 되고. 아 그래요? 그럼 한행 뒤에 그러면 먼저 볼까요? 열심히 쓰긴 했었어. 그래서 그 책을 그대로 다시 가져왔지.
그렇대요.
주제에 있을 수도 있고. 아하. 아하. 뭐가 제일 인상 깊었어요?
연구하는 거야.
면도하는 게 제일 인상적이었대요. 인간적이었어. 그냥 면도를 그렇게 멋있게, 그렇게 예쁘게.
보여줘.
보여줘! 보여줘. 아, 근데 진짜로 엔지컷이 많았던 게 물이 안 나왔어. 진짜 거품이 막 그랬어요. 아, 뭔지 알 것 같아. 들었어요. 맞네. 이쁘게 나왔더라고요. 엄청 이쁘게 나왔어.
너무 좋았어요.
진짜 놀랐어.
진짜 좋았어요.
짱잘 나왔어요.
보여줘.
보여줘.
보여줘. 자, 한 박자 해볼까요? 한 박자 쉬고, 두 박자 쉬고. 아니야? 알았어. 하나. 역선! 역선이 뭐야?
그때 막 선수비 한거 막 나왔는데.
맞네.
민호야 너무 잘 어울리는 거 아니야? 너무 잘 어울리는 거 같아. 뭔가 진짜 여기서 보면은 엄마와 아빠 이렇게 돼 있어. 엄마와 아빠.
저렇게! 이렇게? 블로우길이다!
블로우길.
했을 거야.
저기 있을 거. 그래. 저기 저쪽 뽀뽀한 사이지? 알았어, 맞아요. 저희 웬만하면 그런 거 안 하는데 놀랐어요. 자, 우리 저희 슬슬 마무리 해야 될 것 같은데 정말 아쉬운 거 맞아요? 진짜요? 네. 그러면 가기 전에 뭐 하나 더 보여드리고 싶긴 한데 뭐 보여드릴 거 없나? 사사이고
네.
단체로 노래를 훅부분 훅부만
내 옆자리는 너는
잠깐만 너무 높은 거 아니야?
너는 어떻게 지내?
넌 나도
맞는 거 같은데? 그치? 자 하나 둘셋넷
너는 어떻게 지내? 텅빈 내 옆자리는 너는 잊을 수 없는 날들 필요해도 그저 안부 인사라도 우리 자주 앉았던 버스맨 뒷자리에 앉아도 너와 함께 했던 추억들을 떠올리며 흥얼거려 키가 다 틀려 키가 다 틀렸어 안돼 마음이
하지 마라.
지루하지 마.
자, 하나, 둘, 셋.
감사합니다. 수고하셨습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you for coming.
장빈!
내일 꼭 봬요. 제가 찍어갈게요.
내일도 올 거죠? 꼭 와야 돼요. 아니면 저희는 됐나요?
현진!
100만 들어가요. 조심히 들어가세요.
민호야!
마스크 안 쓰신 분들 마스크 꼭 끼고 가세요. 미세먼지. 감기 조심하시고 밥 꼭 먹는 걸로. 알지?
지성!
심한 포착 그 자리에 만나면